got a lot to unpack in this video, so it's kind of long. Might be kind of boring. This is more for educational for guys that want to hunt cougars than it is to be entertainment. I'm not really making this for like your typical hunting videos to be entertaining. I make this more for educational for people who want to get involved in cougar hunting. So I'm kind of just going through every step, and if you have questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to answer anything. I don't really hide anything. So I'm gonna post up my clips here. I'm gonna edit them down the best that I can. I'm gonna chop the hunt video down because it's 50 minutes of just a lot of nothing. I'm gonna put the important parts in there. You're gonna want the volume up. You're gonna hear some weird vocals. Those are all my call. So all that stuff you're hearing is just my call. The blue jays that you're hearing, those are following that cougar, and I suspected that at the time. But then that cougar, he slowly worked up behind me, and he was actually sitting right next to me for, I don't know how long, I would say at least 20 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes that cougar was sitting next to me, and he was hung up looking at the call. Now, I made a big mistake by the way I set up. I should have set up a little better so I didn't have a blind spot. I had a blind spot to my left, and that cat was standing there the whole time. And I also left one of the approaches, which was slightly uphill, which you don't really do, and I left that as my blind spot. The way I set up, I was just kind of in a hurry. I set up probably 5 or 6 times and didn't like any of them. I finally found one that I was okay with. Wasn't perfect, but I dealt with it, and it worked. I could have done that stand 10 more times and might not have worked any other time, but all that matters is that it did work. It was a little sketchy. You'll see the cat was very, very close to me. I can't wait. I'm actually going to go get an official measurement on it today, but I'm going to guess 22 to 24 feet. I tied up some string. I'll post up that video too. So I kind of give you a walkthrough at the end of everything. If I get enough demand for it, like I'll probably just post up the whole 50-minute clip in a different video so you can watch that and you can see my whole sequence, everything that I do. It's 50 minutes of a lot of nothing. So I'm going to put the edited version on here, and then if everything goes well and everybody wants to see it, then I'll post the full version. You get my reaction after I shoot, which I was losing my mind, obviously, because every time you call one in, it's amazing. And the adrenaline kicked in when this all happened. You'll see after about 30 seconds after I shot the cat, it kind of wears off, and that's when it hits me, and I start getting the shakes. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, if there's anything I'm not covering, let me know. I've had people ask me, and I tried commenting. Somebody commented and wanted to know what kind of gun I use. I use a 300 short mag. And I have a bipod for it, but I usually take the bipod off and just kind of sit it next to me while I'm calling, because it's pretty pointless when you're hunting that close up. I use a 300 short mag. I don't like using small guns. Like 223, I won't. No way. If like somebody wants to go hunt with me and they have a 5.56, 223, it's not going to happen. It's got to be bigger caliber. We learned the hard way on that. We lost a cat because of that. And I like to just dump them where they lay. I don't want to track them. I don't want to have to look for blood, because you give a cat 10 seconds to run in any direction, and good luck. You're not going to find tracks. You might find blood if you're lucky. And then you're also looking for a wounded cougar in the brush. So they will just dive into the thickest, nastiest stuff that exists and die in there. So it's just, yeah, it can be done. People have done it, but it's just not worth the risk to me. This kind of close-up stuff with a 300 doesn't seem to really damage the hide much. So taxidermist hasn't complained too hard. So I'm just sticking with the big gun, knock them down. I don't want to track them. So that's that. I am using a Fox Pro Firestorm, which I've had for probably 12 years. I ran the piss out of it. It's seen snow and ice and rain. I mean, just absolutely drenched in rain. And it just keeps working. I need to upgrade. It's getting pretty tired. Speaker's getting kind of worn out. And the remote, when it's super cold, I can hardly see the remote. But it's hard to replace it when it just keeps working. So I am going to upgrade eventually. And then I run distress sounds to start with, and then I use cougar vocals. So most of the calling that you're going to hear in the video is cougar vocals. I'll show you, I'll edit it so I have a little bit of stuff there as far as distress sounds, and then the rest will be the cougar vocals. And anyway, it's going to be a long video, but if this is what you're into, I think you'll watch it. If not, whatever. So it's September 12th, 2024. There's a big tom that's been showing up on Buddy's trail camera. Two different buddies that have cameras out here, and they've kind of been keeping tracks of what they're doing. So I went out, I put some cameras in the area, and it seems that this cat comes through every 4 to 6 weeks. There's actually been a female and a tom in this area. Now, the tom just showed up on camera at 10:53, so it's just past noon, so it's been a little over an hour. I just left work. I have to go home. I've got most of my gear, but I don't have my call and I don't have my rifle, so I gotta stop at my house real quick, grab that stuff, and I'm gonna bomb out there. So I should be able to be out there and hopefully set up within 2 hours of that cat passing through. So I'm gonna try to just haul ass, but I gotta grab my stuff, open a gate, go in, drive back, and then I park and hike in, kind of get an idea. I think I got an idea where I want to set up. Just gonna take a little bit to get back there. Anyway, he's a big tom, and I'll keep you posted. Alright, well, I got my gear and I'm out here on the woods road, and I've got a few miles to go until I get there, but looking pretty good. I think we're just gonna, I was gonna go to the opposite, different road system and try to call from across a drainage, but I don't know what the timber's like there. I don't know if there's gonna be any good places to set up. And I do know that where the cat was is really good timber there, and I think it'll be a perfect little setup to call one in. So I'm gonna go there and just hope I can get him to backtrack. Hopefully he didn't go too far. There's a bunch of drainages there, deer all over the place, and looking at the videos, you know, he wasn't flying. He was just meandering about, just walking down the road real slow. So I don't think he's really on a mission to go anywhere. I think he's just kind of hunting around. So I think we got a good chance here. It's 12:20. So I'm hoping to be set up and calling within the next 30 minutes. That would put me less than 2 hours behind him. And there's a good chance he'll still be around, just judging by his behavior. Yeah. I'm gonna go to the back of that road and set up at the very end of that ridge and see what happens.
dog was just standing right there staring at me. Holy dog shit. Freaking way. Dude, he's right there. Holy crap. Holy shit, dude, he's right there. Oh, yes, he's a big Tom. Okay. I got her on film. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. Oh my God. This is scary. Oh. He just came in silent, dude. I was done. I was about to give up. I was sitting right there. I'm shaking now. Holy crap. That's like 15 feet. Nah, it's a little more than that, probably 20. But anyway, I was sitting there. Holy shit, dude. Oh my God, I can't believe I just got him. I'm sitting right here. And I'm leaning back like this so I can't see him. I finally had enough and I was just getting ready to get up. And he was standing right there staring right at me. I wish I'd have got that part on film. I mean, I just rolled the gun up. I thought he was going to take off running. He just stared at me. Holy crap, look at that. That is Tom number 3, and I think this might just be my biggest cat. Holy shit, dude, he's huge. Okay. I gotta make some phone calls. This is nuts. Alright. Well, I got him. Got him back to the Jeep. And I gotta try to get him up on the roof. I'll just let this sucker film right here. I got nobody to hold this thing. Well, I got it all loaded up, strapped down to the roof. I'm headed to town. We're gonna go get a weight on him, and then I take it somewhere to get him skinned out. Probably go to the same place I went last time. It's a nice paved bridge right down the street from my house, and I can make a mess out of that and on my garage floor. So yeah, pretty good deal. September 12th, not even 2 weeks in. I've been a buddy posted he shared some pictures to me, because one buddy got a picture of him on camera, and I don't want to give up exactly where it's at, but behind somebody's house, and he told me about this cat, and then a small one was seen in the guy's yard in the neighborhood a couple of times. So another buddy, he saw those pictures and noticed it was the same GMU that he got pictures of, so he sent me some pictures and told me about it, and gave me all the pictures every time he's been through there. So I kind of got this cat, I kind of got his habits figured out a little bit, not a lot, but I knew that he was kind of passing through there every 4 to 6 weeks, and so I decided I was going to go up here and put some cameras along the roads to try to catch him passing through, so I can run out here and call him in. Because the way WDFW is doing stuff now, our commissioners, they screwed up the season, and there's a good chance I won't be able to hunt in the snow. So I have to rely on sightings and such. So anyway, yeah, I was at work. I actually had quite a bit going on. I needed to be at work today, and this cat decided to show up, and I'm kind of cussing at him like, God dang it, why do you gotta show up today, man? So I kind of scrambled, got some stuff wrapped up as much as I could. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna run out there and try to call him in. At first I wasn't really too concerned, because I looked at the picture and I was like, yeah, it's a small female. Not really, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to pass on one, but I am saying that I'm not desperate to get one. I'm trying to get that big tom. Well, I started looking at the picture a little better, and I got the HD version. I started looking, it was like, oh, that is not a little female. That is a big tom. I was like, that's him. That is the big tom. That's the guy I've been waiting on. So I had to run home, grab my rifle and my call. I had all my other hunting stuff with me because I was been archery elk hunting. So I ran home, got my stuff, I bombed out here, got it. It took me a long time to get set up to where I wanted to call, and I sat down in probably 5 or 6 different spots and just kept thinking, oh man, I don't like these approaches. I felt like I was gonna get busted. And I finally sat down in this one spot, and I'm like not even really confident in it. I'm kind of backed in there and can't see much. But when you're cat hunting, you don't really necessarily need to see a whole lot. The biggest thing is not being seen by him, right? And I'm like, man, if he comes into my right or straight on, I got a pretty good chance. If he comes to slight left, there's going to be some blind spots there, but I should be able to keep him looking for the call and moving around. And mainly I was just sick of waiting and sick of moving around trying to find a spot. Anyway, I got to get the gate here. So anyway, I figured if he came over directly to my left, I was like, man, you know, I'm gonna have a hard time. If he gets hung up, it's gonna be really tricky. But I'm hoping I can just keep talking him in, and we'll see what happens. But I did not want to get up and move, and it was just, I could not figure it out. For the life of me, could not get something going that I liked. Well, I finally found this spot, and I didn't like how exposed I was. I was kind of in some ferns, but I'm like, man, I need to be just a little lower. So I slid down, and that's where I was finally sitting. And I really couldn't see to my left. So anyway, yeah, I was, I don't know, 50 minutes into calling. So I was a long ways into it, and I was getting bored. I started throwing female and heat sounds out, just a couple little short spurts of it, because I knew he was a tom, and I knew I could probably get him territorial if he thought there was another male there too, but I was kind of saving that as a last resort, and I didn't quite get to that point, but I was close. I did run one male whistle one time towards the end. I kind of changed my mind. I was like, man, I said, I don't know how big that tom is. I don't know if he's real dominant or not. So I'm not sure what's going to happen if I run that sound. You know, I can spook him off. Well, turns out he was there, and he was just, I don't know how long he was there. He could have been there 15, 20 minutes for all I know. He could have been there a half hour. I honestly have no idea. He was not on the move when I looked over and saw him. He was just standing there, but he knew something was up, because I didn't breathe, right? And all I did was lean forward a little bit just to take a look around before I end things. And I just leaned forward, and he was just standing there staring directly at me, and he's 20, 25 feet away. I've never been sketched out calling cougars. I've never had any sketchy incidents, you know. It's always been, they just come in, they don't know I'm there. And this one was pretty scary, because he was 20, maybe 25 feet from me. 25 most, I would say 20 feet. Not yards, 20 feet. And he's staring at me, man. He knew I was there. I just leaned up, looked at him, and he was just locked onto me. He wasn't looking at me like he was scared. He was looking at me like I was food. It was just the craziest thing. So I've never had like a real scary encounter with him. That that was a little hairy, and I'm definitely gonna think twice when I'm out here calling them. I'm probably gonna set up a little bit differently than that. I've done so many stands for these things and not had anything come in that you know, you kind of let your guard down a little bit, thinking, ain't nothing gonna come in anyway, right? But at the same time, it was like, I knew he was there. He was fresh. I had video of him. He's right. I knew he was there, and I was on him. With less than 2 hours, I was on him. But you still don't think anything's gonna happen. And sure enough, he was standing there staring at me the whole. I don't know how long. I mean, he looked like he had been there a while. So that was definitely sketchy. You gotta. Lesson learned, man. Don't leave any approaches that close to you. You know, I leave approaches behind me all the time, but I'm usually boxed in pretty good, so I'm not too worried about it. But that was insane. I don't even know what to think right now. I'm glad I just leaned forward slowly instead of just stood up, because, you know, he would just probably would have busted right out of there or something, or jumped on me. I don't know, but that was, I doubt it, but you know, it was a little hairy. That was definitely the wildest encounter I've had. First cat I called in and saw, I got pictures of, video. I had to let him go. It was out of season. And he was probably 25 yards. Second cat I called in, I killed him. That was 16 yards. But he wasn't looking at me. He had no idea I was there. He was just locked onto the call. Third cat was 35 yards, same thing. Locked onto the call. Didn't know I was there. This cat knew I was there. That